Hi, I'm Dr. Renee Turchi, Plymouth Whitemarsh High School Distinguished Graduate and Pediatrician at St. Christopher's Hospital for Children, and you're watching CITV.
Welcome parents, guardians, family members, administration, and all members of the National Honor Society. Students, you may now be seated. A big thank you to Anna Schick for sharing her gift of playing the piano. Anna is just one of the many of the talents you will have before you tonight. Another thank you to CC Coffee for creating an amazing slideshow, which displayed some of the service opportunities that our members have participated in throughout the year. Thank you, CC. Tonight, we celebrate the induction of 87 new members. Along with our returning members, the National Honor Society represents some of the excellence happening at Plymouth Whitemarsh High School every day. The National Honor Society members have demonstrated distinction in 4 pillars: scholarship, service, leadership, and character. The students before you tonight have maintained a 3.5 GPA or higher, along with taking a course load that challenges them daily. They take advanced placement and honors level classes. They strive to do their best and be leaders in the classroom daily. All members are required to perform 20 to 25 hours of service a year. They have been instrumental in our community, helping at local food banks, Cradles for Crayons, servers and helpers at pasta nights, family bingo, school fairs. They help younger children in our libraries with Reading Roundup and many other activities sponsored by the libraries. They have been volunteers at races early in the morning that help raise money for a variety of causes. They are tutors at our local elementary schools and peer tutors here at Plymouth Whitemarsh High School. The list goes on and on. Applicants are required to get recommendations from teachers when they apply. Teacher recommendations contain words such as excellent students, helpful to classmates, trustworthy and responsible, determined, dependable, and hardworking. The National Honor Society students are leaders in and out of the classroom. Represented here this evening are ADL peer trainers, orientation leaders, captains on the playing field, principal advisory council members, and hold many officer positions in the clubs with which they are involved. They represent some of the best that Plymouth Whitemarsh has to offer. Please welcome the Plymouth Whitemarsh 2017 National Honor Society. At this time, I would like to introduce our co-treasurer, Sam Cohen.
Tonight, it is my honor and great pleasure to welcome Robin Cohen, CEO and co-founder of the Sandy Roman Ovarian Cancer Foundation. Her many commitments to volunteering and serving others are inspiring to people of all ages. And before she shares her story with us, allow me to tell you a little bit about her and all of her accomplishments. The Sandy Roman Ovarian Cancer Foundation is a non-profit organization created as a tribute to the life, character, and immense strength of Sandy Roman, who passed away from ovarian cancer. Having been Miss Roman's nurse, Miss Cohen started a mission to help prevent other women from having to endure the same pain as she did. In addition to her work with the Sandy Roman Foundation, Robin also serves as a member of the Oncology Nursing Society, the Society of Gynecologic Nurse Oncologists, and the Cambridge Who's Who. Her impact within her community and beyond is remarkable. When speaking with her over the years at various Sandy Roman events, I've always been impressed by her passion for selfless service. Her work demonstrates her efforts to make her vision of a world without ovarian cancer a reality. She has been recognized as one of the 75 greatest living Philadelphians and is the 2016 recipient of the Cindy Melicon Leadership Award. She has served on the board of directors of the Ovarian Cancer National Alliance for the last 7 years and is now the vice president of the board of the Ovarian Cancer Research Fund Alliance. Ms. Cohen also recently joined the board of the World Ovarian Cancer Coalition. The list truly goes on and on. When I asked Ms. Cohen for some advice that she could share with the new and returning members of the National Honor Society, she told me that no matter what you do, find what you're passionate about. When you find your passion, you find your purpose. And that leads to a very meaningful life. Please join me in welcoming an inspiration and role model for service, Ms. Robin Cohen.
Having me here today. It's an honor to be here. The Sandy Roman Foundation began very humbly 16 years ago in memory of Sandy Roman, who passed away from advanced ovarian cancer at the age of 33. I was her nurse, and her sister Adrienne and I dreamt of a way to honor Sandy while trying to help other women and families enduring and facing an ovarian cancer diagnosis. After Sandy passed away, I had an idea to do something for ovarian cancer, to start a nonprofit organization. But to be perfectly honest, I had a lot of self-doubt, and I wasn't quite sure that a young nurse could start a nonprofit with any type of success. At that time, I was taking care of another patient. Her name was Regina. We called her Reg for short. Reg was much older. She was much older than me. She was 62. She was stylish. She had traveled the world. She was someone that I wanted to be when I grew up. And I went into Reg's hospital room one day to tell her that I was not going to be in on Monday, that I was going to Washington, D.C. to attend a conference about ovarian cancer. and that I was thinking of starting an organization to help women and their families fighting this disease. And she was dying at the time. And she pulled herself up in the bed, and she grabbed my shoulders, and she shook me. And she said, "You go out and you fight for us." And that was a turning point in my life, because for so many months I had been asking myself, why me? Why would I do this? And I finally asked myself, why not me? Here was a woman who I looked up to so much, who not only believed in me, but she needed me to do this. That was the last time that I would see Reg. She passed away when I was in Washington, but it is a moment that has stuck with me forever. And so I went to Washington, and I discovered that there were very little resources available for women with ovarian cancer. And I came home more determined than ever. Sandy's sister and I, we started the organization literally sitting on a living room floor. We were surrounded by papers that appeared to be in a foreign language to us. But I remember the moment we looked at each other and we asked each other, are we really going to do this? And we both said that if we helped one woman and this last a year, then something positive would have come out of something so tragic. And emotions at the time were very high. I mean, Adriana had lost her only sister, and I had lost a patient who became a friend, who I desperately wanted to save and couldn't. At the time, our mailing list became our family and friends, and my home became our office. And at the time, there was no social media, so there was no easy way to get information out to a lot of people quickly. So we literally went door to door, knocking on doors, unafraid to knock them down. And we got turned away a lot because we were young, and people were probably wondering what were these two girls trying to do. And we sent out mailings, and we made phone calls, and we sent out emails. And we decided to have our first meeting. My hospital lent us a conference room, and we didn't know who was coming. We didn't ask anyone to RSVP, but we went to the meeting, and it was standing room only. And I overheard one woman say to another, "Wow, you too. I thought I was the only one." And at that moment, I knew that we had made the right decision. Women came into our organization feeling isolated and alone, and they left feeling like they had a home. Very quickly after starting the nonprofit organization, I realized that we needed to do more than just start an organization. We needed to build an ovarian cancer movement, because no one wanted to talk about ovarian cancer, and few women were surviving ovarian cancer. Now, building a movement is really exciting. It's also very frightening. And I'm asked all the time how I took the risk, why I took a risk to start such a fledgling nonprofit and to try to build this movement. And to be perfectly honest, I never saw it as a risk. To me, the real risk would have been not following what was in my heart and my soul, that I knew that I could somehow make a difference and change not only my own life, but change the lives of others. As a child, we're all taught to not to talk to strangers. But I can tell you as an adult, talk to strangers. We built this movement by people coming together, and we built this movement by talking to strangers. Some of our biggest supporters were once strangers to me. Our entire board of directors were once strangers. So take this, I don't want your parents going home and saying, "This woman told my kids to talk to strangers," but take this within the context that, if you have an opportunity to go outside of your network, to do that. I travel a lot. I'm always on a train or a plane, and I always talk to the person next to me. I have a 2-minute elevator speech that I use whenever I have the opportunity to use it. So for many years, research was really slow for ovarian cancer, and the survival rates were not changing. And yet, I stuck with it. I have also experienced a tremendous amount of loss. I've lost a lot of friends to this disease. And I don't run away because I truly believed in our mission, and I truly believed in making a difference. And the losses have made me want to work even harder. And I have cried harder than I have ever cried in my entire life. But I have also laughed harder than I have ever laughed. And as much as I give, I have received so much more in return. Because every day I get to see the good in people. I get to witness love and support, and yes, some heartache. But it is such an incredible experience. And with all the bad that we hear that goes on in this world, how lucky am I that I don't wake up and go to work every day. I wake up and I go on a mission. And sometimes the wins, the small moments, are not what the public sees. Sometimes it's being the voice on the other end of the phone, or connecting a newly diagnosed woman with a survivor. I'm a firm believer that you watch, you wait, and you work, and you don't give up. And that's exactly what I have done. And the mission is always bigger than the moment. Now, that's not to say that the big moments aren't incredible to see. And most recently, in the last few years, we have had those big moments. We are part of funding an ovarian cancer dream team through Stand Up to Cancer. We've had 3 new drugs for ovarian cancer come onto the market just in the last year. We are finally seeing mortality rates and incidence rates go down for ovarian cancer. They had not changed in 40 years. We have been embraced by the city of Philadelphia, and we turned the city teal during the month of September. We're about to cross the $3.8 million mark in ovarian cancer research grants. And remember, we started on a living room floor. And most recently in September, we rang the closing bell at NASDAQ. And I can tell you that we were the most spirited group that the stock market had ever seen. But I can also tell you that these moments would not be as meaningful if it did not take all of the hard work and the many years to get to them. I honestly believe that. So I wanted to share this with you. 2 years ago, I received an award, and I'm not sharing this with you to tell you that I received an award, but I'm sharing it with you for another reason. It was at the same conference that I had gone to when I told Reg I was going to DC. And over the years, I had become the chair of that conference and was the head of the organizing committee. And me being the chair, I had no idea I was receiving this award. My name was called, and I was in this state of shock. And I was frozen. And I didn't know what to say. And yet I had to get up there and say something. And to more than 300 ovarian cancer survivors, do you know what I said? I said, I will always go out and fight for you. I said the words that were said to me all those years earlier in that hospital room. They came so naturally to me because I had lived them every day since. And that, for me, was a full circle moment. This picture is some of you volunteering at our events this past year. And I just want to say that nonprofit organizations cannot do anything without our volunteers. we are so grateful for all of you. And I know that you have to get a certain amount of hours in, and when you're volunteering in an event, you become so busy that you kind of miss the moment. But I would just encourage you all that over the next year, when you do go volunteer, to take a moment out and look around and realize that this event could not take place if it was not for you. And to really feel good about being there and really feel good about making a difference. So this is one of my favorite quotes, and this was what I wanted to leave, I told Sam I wanted to leave all of you with today. I often think of the differences being made because we dare to talk about our hopes and dreams while sitting on a living room floor. I think about all the doors that we knock down, being unafraid to knock again. I know that many of you are making decisions about where to go to college and what to do with your life. And I would just say to you to find what you're passionate about. Because when you find your passion, you find your purpose. And that leads to a very meaningful life. I could not end without embarrassing the two reasons that I am up here tonight. My niece and my nephew, Remy and Tommy. I started the Sandy Roman Foundation the year that they were born. So they were born into this organization. And I remember one time we were driving in the car, stuck in traffic, and they were probably about this age, 8 or 9. And out of the blue, Tommy says to me, "Aunt Robin, when you die, do we get Sandy Roman?" And I was in a bit of shock, wondering, does he want me to die? And then Remy chimed in and said, "Well, Aunt Robin, we don't want you to die now or anything, but when you do die, we want Sandy Roman." And I asked both of them, "Why do you want it, and what would you do with it?" And they both said, "We would lead it, just like you, and make sure that it lived on forever." And I was so proud at that moment, just like I am so proud that they thought of me to be here with all of you tonight. So thank you so much for having me, and happy Thanksgiving.
Each student you see here tonight has demonstrated in his or her high school career leadership in and out of the classroom, an enthusiasm for scholarship, a desire to render service, and high standards of honesty, reliability, and respect for others. The National Honor Society officers will now describe each of these qualities and light a candle to represent each one. Jake Welsh, the National Honor Society president, will speak with you first about scholarship.
Good evening. Scholarship is a commitment to learning. You have all seen these students dedicate countless hours to their studies as their high school careers have progressed. Every student in the auditorium has maintained a laudable GPA of 3.5 or higher. So tonight, we recognize these students and their lasting quest for knowledge. Through diligence and effort, they have proven their commitment to continually expand their world through the opportunities inherent in scholarship. The candle that is about to be lit represents the eternal light of knowledge and will be used to light the 4 candles which represent scholarship, service, leadership, and character. Now, one of our vice presidents, Ryan Heaton, will speak about service.
Thank you, Jake. Service can be described in various ways, but at its heart, it possesses a genuine compassion for others. In the routine of the day's work, many opportunities arise to help others. Willingness to work for the benefit of those in need without compensation or without recognition is the quality we seek in our membership. These students are committed to the idea of volunteering their time and abilities for the creation of a better tomorrow. The students of Plymouth Whitemarsh's National Honor Society donate countless hours of their time supporting organizations in our community, such as Warming Philly and Simon's Fund, as well as volunteering within the school district and the local library. This is not to mention the service work students do for their churches and synagogues and other local charities. Through their hours of volunteer work, and National Honor Society members demonstrate their dedication to serving the community and to improving the society we live in with service. Now, my co-vice president, Ari Kaganovsky, will share with you some thoughts on leadership.
Thank you, Ryan. Leadership should exert a wholesome influence on the school. By taking the initiative in class and school activities, the real leader strives to train and aid others to attain the same objective. Sometimes, the pride of leadership is sacrifice. The willingness to lead one's personal interest for the interest of others and the whole. A leader has self-confidence and will go forward when others hesitate. No matter what power and resources may exist in a group, they are not as effective without the guidance of a wise leader. Leadership is a vital part of the success of any unit, and each student you see here tonight has displayed exemplary leadership in our unit, Plymouth Whitemarsh High School. Next, Natalie Paskin, one of our treasurers, will speak about character.
Thank you, Laurie. Character is the force within each individual which distinguishes that person from others. Acts of character help one to gain self-respect and to respect others. The force of character guides one to success in life, and when developed, grows steadily. Character is achieved and not received. It is the product of constant action and daily striving to make the right choices. The National Honor Society students are people of character who demonstrate such qualities as reliability, honesty, and sincerity. Each member will now participate in lighting a candle to represent their commitment to these 4 principles. I'd like to present Alyssa Green, our secretary, who will lead us in reciting the National Honor Society Pledge.
Thank you, Natalie. I'd like to ask all of my peers to rise, turn in their programs, and recite the National Honor Society Pledge with me. I pledge myself to uphold the high purposes of the National Honor Society to which I have been selected. I will be true to the principles for which it stands. I will be loyal to my school, and I will maintain and encourage high standards of scholarship, service, leadership, and character. Everyone can now extinguish their flame. And be seated. At this time, new members will come forward to accept their certificate and pin. I'd like to ask the audience to hold your applause until after all the names are called.
We'll start with our new senior members. Elliot Anderson, Jessica Bendel, McKenna Chun, Emma Coleman, Allie Diamond, Kenneth Diamond, Joshua Jaffe, Kaya Shula, and Matthew Werther.
Now, our new junior members, Ashley Amon, Lily Aquaviva, Jamie Ash, Mary Beretta, Golzar Buratoba, Spencer Berg, Owen Butler, Hayden Twang, Ethan Cohen, Lauren Cosgrave, Maggie Coyle, Jack Dolphinbach, Mary DeJovene, Brooke Dunoff, Evan Elgart, Seth Elkins, Zaina Ferry, Emma Vio-Kavitz, Nicholas Fiddler, Alexandra Freeberg, Keegan Gallagher, David Garcia, Aaron Garman, Ethan Goldman, Tyler Goodman, Brooklyn Hussis, James Hartnett, Emily Huang, Julia Kaplan, Kayla Kaufman, Hannah Kenworth, Alicia Cacciadoria, Samuel Klein, Rachel Krisner, Grace Lipkin, Jenna Liu, Jessica Margulies, Michael Marion, Sydney Malillo, Marcus Milares, Devin Moore, Eric Nam, Alexandra Norbeck, Ainsley Nugent, Patrick O'Brien, Rebecca Porter, Alex Prusky, Namita Rao, Kennedy Reardon, Rebecca Richards, Eva Rosen, Sarah Rashino, Justin Ruggiero, Lily Sharp, Xavier Sharp, Anna Schick, Paige Scott, Melanie Slowick, Emma Smith, Serena Smith, Sadie Stein, Andrew Strickland, Monica Swakowski, Matthew Simnoski, Josephine Tassoni, Abigail Thomas, Audrey Trainer, Ethan Trin, Jessica Valentine, Elena Van Lee, Richard Vion, Kara Wade, Ashley Winterbottom, Haley Iacovino, and Steve Zappetta.
Senior members, please turn and face your parents. Let's give them a round of applause for their continued hard work and commitment to Plymouth Whitemarsh High School's National Honor Society. Now, Ms. Pinner, our chapter advisor, will present some brief closing remarks.
Hi. Before we close this evening, Ms. Lynch and I would like to acknowledge the NHS officers. Tonight's program could not have been done without their hard work. So Jake, Ryan, Ari, Alyssa, Sam, Natalie, Robbie, Cece, Eric, Bella. We'd like to thank you for your time and your effort and your dedication to Plymouth Whitemarsh family. Family at PW. We are all so busy, it's rare to have a chance to step back and recognize the incredible accomplishments of these young adults, but we think it's vitally important that we do so. Tomorrow actually marks the 54th anniversary of the assassination of President John F. Kennedy, and in his Thanksgiving proclamation that year, Kennedy said, "We must find time to stop and thank the people who make a difference in our lives." As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them. Each of you indeed live by your words. I've worked very closely with many of you, both in and out of school, and I know firsthand how truly awesome you are. You've made a difference in your world, and you continue to leave a strong impression on us, your family, your friends, your fellow community members, your teachers, and your administrators. We are all so incredibly proud of you. We also know that behind each of these students stands a network of family, friends, and neighbors who have supported them. So we would also like to recognize those important people at this time. We'd especially like to thank this evening our keynote speaker, Ms. Robin Cohen, for her inspiring message to our youth. We'd like to present Ms. Cohen. Of course, Tommy and Remy, I have to bring them up to do this. We'd like to present Ms. Rowan with a little gift of our appreciation. Thank you, guys. And the National Honor Society also made a donation to the Sandy Roman Foundation. So we did do that as well. Lastly, we must acknowledge Anna Schick for the beautiful music that she has provided for us this evening. Sorry, Anna. Jake is presenting you with a bouquet of flowers as well. This truly was last minute. Definitely saved us a lot. Like 2 days ago, I was like, by the way, can you play the piano? Obviously, I don't have a musical note in my body. I had no idea how beautiful it actually is. It's lovely, so thank you so much. Ms. Lynch and I would like to thank you all for coming here this evening to honor and celebrate these amazing students. In a moment, the members of the National Honor Society will exit to the rear of the auditorium. Please join them at the reception in the cafeteria and enjoy some light refreshments with us. Drive home safely, have a good night, and a happy Thanksgiving. Thank you.